Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. Once again, I am Randolph,
I'm Iz.
And I'm Leo.
and today we're going to be talking about how board games can help with self development.
Nice.
But before we do that, I know GenCon has been in my mind for quite some time, or excuse me, for a while now. The last episode, if you guys watched it, we were talking with Pete and Jason with their experiences in GenCon with their factions Battlegrounds board game. Um, just a quick little rundown on my end for maybe like 5 minutes. I'll just talk about it. So we went there on a Saturday. I feel like it was one of the busiest days at GenCon. Went in there and I think it was we only just saw not even like half of what GenCon was all about.
Really?
Yeah, as we were going into the exhibit hall, there were just multiple other rooms where they were just showing their games and asking people, try out this game, demo this game. We'll pay you. We'll give you something
Pay you?
in return or something. I'm
You
like,
could
"Oh,
go to
that's-
GenCon for work.
I know that's pretty. I was like, okay, that's dope. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, well, I keep telling myself, I'll go ahead and try that out later.
And he didn't go
I know.
again.
See, and that's
and he
why
never went back.
Game over.
It's like, yeah,
You could have made $50 easy. You could have. I don't know why they say pay you. Just give them the game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Give
that's
me
what
a
I was
game.
saying. They said, we'll let you try the game out for free. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's what we did.
That's
the
awesome.
whole time over there. They were giving out tickets for the people that went there to try out the whole game, like the full game itself, which is what I did on my end when we were doing the Factions Battleground, the demoing.
Wait,
so
they gave out tickets to see those things?
yeah, so there was tickets, like vouchers, something like that. Like
Right,
you
right.
just got to show up at this certain time and be like, okay, at 2:00. Oh no, like let's say 3:00, be at this certain table, and then the creators will come and show you how the game is played, and then you guys can do a full game, basically. Instead of demoing like a section or a portion of the game, you can do the whole game from the beginning to the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
And then that's what myself, Haley and Angel did.
Uh-huh.
We were just helping out with that,
Mm.
and I thought it was pretty fun. We were able to get a sale there, and from the kids actually, I failed on my part, so I was like,
Well, no, I feel like you've taught them, and whatever they do is based off of what you've taught them. So technically,
The masters become the grasshopper. the grasshoppers become the master.
I guess, yeah, if you want to, put it that way.
playing leapfrog, grasshopper, hop
Yeah.
over the master.
So, all right. So with GenCon, being as packed as it was, did anything catch your eye that you didn't want to check out, but you definitely wanted to talk about today? I'm pretty sure GenCon was super expansive as far as like how big this thing was. So,
Oh,
like,
it's huge.
like
Yeah.
when I went to my anime expo back in 2007, I just so happened to watch the first Transformers movie.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I just so happened to just stumble on. They're like, "Hey, do you want to watch Transformers?" I was like, "Excuse me, do I want to what? Was it 1 or 2? I don't know. I forget. It was 2007. So whatever came out in 2007, Transformers wise, it wasn't even out in theaters. It was just like, you guys want to watch it? And we were in Long Beach, and I was like, yes. And so we watched it. So was there anything similar to that, or maybe something that you're like, oh man, I wish you could do that, but we don't have time?
There's a lot of them. I know I saw a Stranger Things panel kind of thing.
What?
Stranger Things and
Board games? That's crazy.
Squid Games. Squid
Dungeon.
Games also.
Oh, what?
So I'm like, are they gonna make a Squid Game or board game? I don't know, but it was like a billboard inside GenCon, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll start watching Stranger Things and be part of the cool crew because Stranger Things was up in there. So, that and Marvel Crisis Protocol was there. I wanted to check that out too. But yeah, I didn't even get to that WoW part because I don't think I explored enough. But I'm pretty sure it was out there. And like I said in the past 2 episodes, I felt like probably like more than 2 days at GenCon should be, enough, but
Never,
Monday was not
never.
enough. You know, Saturday
Even
was like
if
the
you
most
went through
packed
the
day.
full weekend, I feel that you probably wouldn't have seen the whole thing. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think you would have been able to cover the whole?
In one day?
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah.
But
I
I
mean,
mean, I probably could, but I wouldn't have been able to
embrace it.
like embrace
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You wouldn't be able to go to like booth to booth, take a little time, see what's
Right,
happening. You just like
right.
speed walking through all
we
this.
were
Oh, this is really nice.
Right?
We were speeding, man. It was fun.
Just all of a sudden, just taking pictures with a bunch of D&D characters and Magic the Gathering characters. What's up? Oh. You know, like, what up, everybody? So why is Link here? That's a video game.
No, but yeah, being a lookout for that video when we were in our Indianapolis trip. It's going to be in my Wolfshoot Chronicle YouTube
Nice,
vlog. So
nice.
you're literally gonna see us just zipping right through, and just
It's not fast forward.
Yeah, it really was. It was so much content that my editor had to like squeeze it in. You know, I'm like, just do what you can to make it fit. You know,
When does the video drop?
we're gonna try to drop it like in a couple weeks, so just keep a lookout.
Okay.
This episode might be coming out. Thinking like what, September?
Okay.
Like,
Right on the corner.
yeah. So
Starting
Literally
Thursday.
in a few days.
yeah. It's like it's August 28th right now.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so I mean the kids had a lot of fun. You know, they like playing board games. They just like that thing that makes them unique when they play the game. And so that's some of the things that's one of the things or that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today. Not just kids, but you know, as adults, like how board games can actually help with self-development, and it can help with a number of things. You know,
Right.
like so. For example, the first one would be you know, identifying colors. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of board games out there like, oh, like Catan, you want to be red? You want to be orange? You want to be white? Okay. Well, you know, that's one way to learn their colors, you know.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good thing that you brought that up. And I mean, not necessarily learning colors, but you can also like matching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I bought this board game for my nephews. I forgot the name of it, but it was a penguin game. I saw it back in on a YouTube video, and they're like, get this for your son or kid or cousin, whatever. That's like somewhere between the ages of 6 to like 10. And I was like, oh, well, my nephew is going to be like 9. So I'm like, I got you. So I bought this thing, and it was a penguin game. And it was funny because it looked good. It looked great on
Yeah.
the promo. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, what is this game exactly? And then, you know, I started playing with my brother, and I was like, oh, this is a matching game. I was like, all right, we're done. We're going to win this game very fast. Yeah, no. So, yeah, when it comes to coloring, that's what it was based off of. So the penguins cover the color of the stands that they're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just got to find the same colors. So, yeah. Definitely early learning, and also you can also play like a bluffing game. Like you'd be like, okay, I remember. Like you'd be like, I remember this is green, and it's your turn, and your partner's like, oh no, he doesn't know that's actually red. You know what I mean? You could also do that. There's a lot of bluffing and deception that you can play in these games. Not saying that these kids should learn those things, but those clever ones, the ones that that pretend to be quiet, you watch out for those ones. Okay, watch out.
It's
me.
always that one. It's always that one.
I'm always the quiet one.
And then, of course, the counting of the spaces, you know, like Monopoly,
Sorry.
you know, roll the dice.
Like sorry.
1,
yeah.
2, 3.
Was it Trouble too?
Shoot some ladders.
Shoot some ladders.
Yes, absolutely.
Candyland.
Candyland. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a.
I don't think I've ever played Sorry or Candyland.
Candyland is similar to
I have
Shoots
it.
and
You can
Ladders.
play it.
Shoot
And-
some ladders I did play.
Yeah, that's like Candyland. I believe Candyland was built off of that
Really?
mechanic.
Oh,
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
There's like a candy cane you can climb on, like the ladders. You know what I mean? And there's other things that
It's just the holiday version of Shoots and Ladders.
Oh, there's also Smartass. Have you played that game?
no.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
That one.
great game. That's it's a trivia game based off of like like TV, history, and music. It's really great.
But that one's like the saving kind of game that you're talking about too, right? Like find the wrong answer in this like list.
Are you talking about
on that one?
Yeah, yes, it can be. I mean, because the main thing is the trivia, but yeah, you're exactly right. And there's also the counting,
Yeah.
which actually messes you up. There's a part in the game where you get like a certain amount of spaces, and it'll knock you back 3 spaces. But there's a little section where if you go and you get stuck there, you can actually be stuck in that area if you keep having to go backwards and if you had to go forwards. And it is the most frustrating part in the game. And if you can trap someone in there, you've won.
What game is this for?
It's Jackass. Or Smartass, excuse me.
That's,
Wrong game, y'all. Wrong game. But yeah.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So aside from the
No, I was just gonna say, I think the first game I ever played board game was Monopoly.
yeah.
Probably the worst game to play as a kid to begin
Very.
with. So complicated. I didn't realize until I was a grown up. I was like, wow, I've been playing this game completely wrong.
Oh, yes.
And it wasn't
There's a
until
lot
I
of ways
started
you can
playing.
play it,
Oh, that's true. But it wasn't until I started playing like the video game version, because the video game version knows the rules and
Yeah.
will enforce the rules. I was like, wait, that's how you're supposed to play this game? Oh, man, I've been
Yeah,
like
the hotel.
Yeah.
30 years of playing this game the wrong way.
I used to play my uncle that game, and he would know the rules. And he would, definitely enforce the rules, but he wouldn't tell me how to succeed with the rules. And all of a sudden, I owe him like $500 because I landed on his square. I'm like, okay, hold up, what? And then, it wasn't until I want to say I was like maybe in my early 20s, I figured out how to actually destroy everyone in the game. And it really is just, I'm not going to tell you guys because I'm going to do that when we play next time.
Wow.
Monopoly.
Okay. All right. Who's got a game?
So
know
you're
that?
saying with you, it won't take like 2 days to play the game.
Yes. And you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out once I start doing it. Once I start doing it, you guys will figure it out, and you guys may destroy me.
Right.
It'll be very short, though.
Challenge.
It all depends on who picks up on it
First.
first. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing is I'm too nice in Monopoly.
Oh yeah.
I can't-
It's not about being cutthroat, though. It's about
Nah,
it's about being actually nice. And that's all I'm gonna say, folks. That's all I'm gonna say, folks. The fastest Monopoly game I've ever played was 30 minutes.
What?
I
must be a record.
destroyed.
Mine was like 30 hours.
Absolutely destroyed. But granted, there's luck based in it. So
Yeah.
I was lucky.
Where you land and whatnot.
Very true. Very true. So there's obviously the trivia games where you don't really move pieces, like Monopoly.
Did you answer questions?
Yeah. So we got the Monopoly, and then we have Catan, where you're moving certain things. So basically, you need some hand-eye coordination. That's one of the best things you can have in early development.
Actually, when it comes to board gaming, there's a game called Crossfire, and that was 100% you needed hand-eye coordination. 100%.
or like Jenga.
Or even what you call it. I want to say Hungry Hungry Hippos 2. Because I mean, like
You have to know when to
you got to
open
time. You got to time exactly. You got to time it, and timing is another thing that you learn. You know what I mean? Obviously, these are all soft skills, so to speak, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have these things, which is weird. It's weird.
Oh yeah, we're not even at the adult section yet.
Oh, whoa. Wait,
Wow.
what adult section? You talking about difficulty, right?
Difficulty.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
We're in.
I was just like,
novice right now. We're in
this is not
amateur.
that kind of podcast. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's called the red light
The re-
podcast.
The red light. Yeah, this is the nerdy volume,
That's the after show.
not the
Join us then.
the lower volume.
2 a.m.
I find the 10-minute
Oh,
2 a.m.
Let's get it. No. Actually, I wanted to bring up another thing about when learning, even for children that are, I guess, older. Like I want to say like young teens between 14 and maybe 17.
Yeah.
Like games like Scattergories. You know what I mean? It really puts your puts your brain to work because when everybody starts to give out the answers, be like to see how much points you got for the round, you're just like, I mean, a lot of times, or actually, I want to say 100% of the time, you will be like, "Oh, that's right." You know what I mean? Be like, "What is an animal that starts with a G?" And they're like, "G? What animal starts with G?" And then someone comes up and says, "Okay, animal that starts with G, I put giraffe." And then everybody's just like beating themselves up. They're like, "Of course it's giraffe." You know what I mean?
It's goat.
And
That's true.
I definitely felt incredible when I got everything on there. You ever got a whole page
I don't think I
or a
played
whole
that game.
round? You never played Scattergories?
No.
Oh, snap.
So Scattergories is a game where you have a letter that so you have a big dice that has a bunch of letters on it, and you roll it. Everybody has these cards that have 10 categories on them. With each category, you have to find a word that pertains to the category that from the one that you rolled. So if you rolled a P, then you got to think of country, brand, city, and all those other things. And so you got to figure it out within, I believe it's like a minute.
I think it's like a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I also had that
I
little
like to
timer
play that
thing.
game.
Oh man, well, it's packed.
Okay, so Monopoly and Scattergories. Game night, somebody.
But yeah, no. But yeah, I'm saying like these are those are great for vocabulary and for also, it's like trivia, but just what do you know? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
That's cool. You know what game I never liked? Scramble.
Scramble. Oh, I
You know
actually like
why?
that one.
You mean Scrabble?
Scrabble. That
Scrabble?
one.
Oh,
You-
okay.
you know why?
Why?
Because I was really bad at spelling.
Oh,
Because of my dyslexia, I wouldn't be able to spell things like, especially like complex words. Forget about it. So I was like, I can't play this stupid game. This is a dumb game.
We'll see. And,
No,
and that's
I was the one who's not that smart.
that's the other way to, I guess, learn words.
That's
'cause-
true. Scramble would be a great word.
Yeah.
Kid go and learn dictionary and start.
Well, I mean, when I
dropping-
played it, I had a dictionary right beside me.
Oh.
Because it was like, okay, fact checked.
Oh
Nope,
yeah, they
not
just
a
put in
word.
random word, and you're like, I don't think that's right.
no, my mom loved that game. So me and my brother, when we play with her, we had to, we had to be ready. You know what I mean?
I bet.
Now, though, you guys ever play Words with Friends? That's the
Yeah.
mobile app.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever play with Pono.
Okay.
Don't ever play with him.
I think I did play
He
with him.
destroyed me. He got 430 points, and I had like 120. He destroyed me. Now I know how to play how he plays, but
How does he play?
I'm not gonna say.
Gotta give me-
'cause,
Come
you
on,
know.
Leo.
But anyway,
These bros, I'm not going to give their secrets away.
I understand your hatred for Scrabble because I always had to put my A game on it, or I wasn't allowed to play it. If I wasn't good to play it, I don't play the game. It was bad. It was bad. When I was a kid, if it was a game, you better be good, or you go home or stay in your room or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was serious. Okay, like I may be a stickler for rules, but you got to be good at the game in my house. Definitely one of those games that that isn't everyone's favorite, but the Words with Friends came up, and we had that.
Yeah, I did play. I was never very good at
Words with
words,
friends.
words with friends. Yeah.
Yeah, Words with Friends helped a lot because if you didn't spell it right, they will tell you like nope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So I just start like just doing a bunch of random lines and stuff. It's like something must click.
At least with Words with Friends, you can see if there's actually a word or not because it
Or-
tells you.
What's that new one? The thing that like
Wordle?
Wordle? Wordle's another one.
Oh my gosh. I didn't get into that one.
T's pretty good at that one. She always figures it Wordle ones. I'm like, how did you figure that?
Wordle? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I do Wordle every week with my family.
Like, how did
Jeez.
you figure that out?
It's just a process of elimination, which is that's another. I believe that's more for adults, where you start to do deductive reasoning.
No,
You know what I mean?
that can be for early development also. I mean, they do teach you problem solving in math. When did they start doing that? Like in middle school?
Right, but I mean, like the one that's solely for deducing. So like when like Guess Who?
Yeah.
Guess Who is I would say it would be like deduce.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Does your person have a beard?
Deductive reasoning. Yeah, yeah. Does
Yeah.
your person have a hat? Stuff like that. Like they don't. I don't think a lot of kids know what they're doing until later on, unless of course they develop it later on. For me, board games definitely helped me out when I started to figure how daily things actually they're very relatable to board games. You know what I mean? I play tons of different types of board games. Like I play deductive reasoning games. I play dice drafting games. I play I don't like it, but I play bluffing games like Secret Hitler, Werewolf. Like there's so many other games out there, and they're heavier. So like I'm more of a fan of heavier games that make me think, like Ricochet Robots, like Mage Knight. Like Mage Knight, my gosh, That's
I
like
have literally played none of these games.
oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you know
Except
what I
for
mean?
Guess Who. I have played Guess Who.
Like, yeah, like I've only brought a little bit of my games over, only because some of these games take a long time to teach.
Yeah.
But like games like Mysterium. Oh man, that's an incredible game. You know what I mean? And and then I have other games that are easy like Revolution. You know what I mean? And that's where things start to like click. And I would love to have the younger kids play the game to at least get them understanding what they're doing. Because when you play like Guess Who, like when you leave out the games, they don't actually understand what they're doing until like much later in their age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I've done that before. Oh, it's just like, and then they'll pop. Oh, this is like Guess Who. But if I were to tell a kid like, you know what you're doing right here, right? You're solving puzzles without actually having a puzzle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And yeah, so it's really just about opening it up in their heads, and yeah, board games definitely should, or it is the way to go for teaching children just soft skills.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Soft life skills, not
Soft
soft
life.
skills like in the workforce. I just
Soft.
like social skills. Okay.
no, I was just like I was saying. Yeah. I mean, for one, it's fun,
Yeah.
right? So if it's entertaining, it's easier to process, and it gets better engraved in your mind, right? So
Because it sticks with you too.
yeah.
No.
And so along the list is learning how to wait your turn. So it teaches you patience and strategizing, kind of like what Monopoly. That's another good one. Following the rules, of course. We did talk about rules early on. Again, Monopoly is another good example for that. Boost language skills.
Yep, that's where the categories comes in.
Scattergories comes in for that.
Yep.
Sharpens your focus.
That's like the matching games.
Mm-hmm.
That's so you can focus where you remember, like, oh, this one's blue and that one's blue. Turn them over, or that's a jack and this is a jack. Flip them over. In the card games.
The matching games. Teaches the value of teamwork. That's a good one, especially for doing teams like Codename.
Mm-hmm.
Codenames is an excellent one.
You ever played with somebody who doesn't realize that we're all on the same team?
You do know you're fighting.
We're all on the same team.
Come on,
right?
come on.
They're like, yeah, but I if we win first, I was like, no, if you win, we all win at the same time. I don't know if you knew that.
Right.
Like, that's how this game works. And yeah, those guys are pretty fun to work with because they don't realize that you're just letting them do the homework. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you show kids how to be losers. Not like you're
How to
such a
lose
loser.
properly.
Hey, kid, you lost. You lost. You know
How
what
to
that
not be a
means?
sore
You're
loser?
not good at
Yeah.
this game.
So then you got option A. You can.
You teach them the art of competition.
Yeah,
That's better than- that's a better term.
That's a better way to. That's a better way to put it.
Sorry, son. Tonight you are a loser. I've destroyed you in bowling at 300
You were such
to your 96.
You were such a great competitor. Yeah.
Maybe don't come out next time. But yeah, no, definitely you teach them that competitive edge, and none of that stuff that's going on, with the participation ribbons and stuff. That's such a weird concept.
Participation ribbons.
Yeah, that are given to
Participation
children these days.
Yeah.
And
Get an E for
If
effort.
you lose, you lose.
yeah, just take it.
And what I think, like when you do stuff like that, when you do give them like participation things, you rob them from their opportunity to lose
growth.
humbly.
And for growth.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're like, well, I still did something. Yeah, but you just didn't do good enough.
Yeah.
Take the L, go home, get better, and come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Participation participation ribbons also teaches or showcases to lazy the people that
Yeah,
are
yeah,
lazy.
you did something at least.
You're like, oh, I don't want to be in here, but
I can understand it if you're like a 3-year-old, understandable. But once you're like, I don't know, 7 or 8,
yeah, if you're chasing your
and
friends,
especially
around the
if you're
field,
playing like
yeah.
a sport game,
Yeah.
like football, soccer, whatever it is, if you lose, you lose.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why there's champions.
It is. Right. Why even
There's
have
world
why even
champions.
have a tournament anymore?
I know we're talking about mental health, but this helps you grow.
No, it really does.
This helps you grow.
It really does. It allows, like, once again, it allows you to be ready for disappointment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to handle disappointment, it's you know who they are, because they're the ones who's throwing a tantrum when they don't get what they want. It's like, nah, homie, you lost. Just
Plain and simple.
You just lost. Right? Just
tomorrow we'll go outside, we'll practice a little, see if we could get better, and then we come back next week and we do it over again.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like what is that one saying? Michael Jordan used to say. It's about you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Like you're just keep failing. You're gonna succeed.
Yeah.
One way or another. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
But you're not going to be succeeding if you're just not putting the effort in. So just that's where the competitiveness comes in. And then another thing is unplugging. Nowadays technology is everywhere, surrounding us right now.
I agree with you 100%, bro.
Even then, when you're playing board games, you still manage to just take your phone out sometimes. And I'm thinking we should just do a rule, like we get a basket, put your phones in there, and
play the game.
You're not
be in the moment.
Be in the moment. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to look at your phone until after the game.
Right.
Exactly. So that's one way. Did I miss anything on there, guys?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we covered it. We went into depth. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Into the depths.
All right. So we're not gonna go into the red light special, but we're gonna go into we're gonna go more into
at that 2 a.m.
The professionals.
2 a.m. No, I think this is more like the 7:30 p.m., 8 o'clock.
No, the red light special.
Oh,
2 a.m.
Oh. It teaches you how to draw in your crowd. Illustrations after dark.
Wow, that's a perfect one, actually.
Yeah, that is for the 2 a.m. sessions. All right. On to the real business. So it strengthens relationships by bringing people closer, and it's a very good social event, like to meet new people.
Unless you're playing Monopoly or Catan.
Yeah. Unless you're playing certain relationship destroying games, like Monopoly, Catan, as Leo said here in very subtle words.
Those are the games you invite the people you don't want to be friends with anymore.
Right.
And you don't know a way to say, hey, I don't want to be your friend. You're like, let's just play this game, guy.
It's like, that Randolph guy, he doesn't want to play with me anymore because he lost.
Yeah,
it's Catan, that game.
It's Catan, but there are stuff that like strengthens relationships, like charades, Pictionary, games like that. You know what I mean?
Team
games.
Team
games for sure.
Team games definitely help strengthen relationships between your team. Maybe not the opposite team. The opposing team may have your wife, and your team may have your best friend, and that's where the fight starts. You know what I'm saying?
And we're not talking about Twister, guys. So.
What?
Wait, hold on, what?
That one, yeah.
That's
the 2 a.m. one.
Yeah, that's 2 a.m.
It's definitely a 2 a.m. one. What? It can be a daytime one too.
Depends.
It also increases brain function and stimulates brain areas responsible for memory.
Yeah,
which is what we brought up earlier. Even for children, with the whole matching and stuff like that. But what this brings me to is the game Mysterium. Mysterium is a board game that is about a ghost that is trying to tell you who killed him, excuse me, and you are telling up to 7 different or 6 to 7 different psychic detectives, and the only way you can tell them is by giving them dreams. And so using your not memory, but your cognitive skills, you're thinking, this is what this dream represents to me. And I believe that has a lot with brain function and stimulating the brain, because you're trying to put things together based on what you see and just using, your cognitive powers, brain power, that critical thinking skill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and for those who play the game, you'll know the ghost is actually your friend, and you have to figure out what your friend is thinking based off of these dreams. And you know what I mean. So that helps too. So brain stimulation and strengthening
I
relationships.
haven't played that game either.
Dude, you'll love that game.
That
You'll
sounds like a fun game.
love that game. I just don't know how to start that game anymore. Like the beginning of the game doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, how do we know who the actual killer is? Because ultimately, the ghost knows, but the people don't. That makes sense. But the ghost doesn't know, and I'm like, what do we do? Like, do we just grab a bunch of things and we just put them together and then that's it? You know what I mean? Because the ghost has to know to bring you towards the answer. So until I figure that part out, I'll play it. But I do have the game. Do you have the game?
Mm-mm.
I forget who else has the game.
I'd be interested to play it.
Yeah.
So we should play it one day.
Oh, right there.
What game? The game I want us to play one day. I think I mentioned this not last week, but the week before.
Mm-hmm.
When we first talked about Gen Con is Haunted House on the Hill. Well, Betrayal at Haunted House on the Hill.
I'm down for that.
Such a great game.
Sounds like a good game. We should check that out and
I have
play
that one.
it, and we'll do like a recap as to how all three of us did. One episode, if you guys are down for it, of course.
All right.
And then so more on that is cognitive skills like decision making, higher level strategic thinking, and problem solving.
Right.
So strategy games.
Yeah, like Mysterium, like I was saying earlier.
Mysterium.
Mm-hmm.
And then also teaches you how to set goals, how to be patient, because obviously when you set a goal for yourself, like 3 years, 5 years, you need to learn patience because you're going to get there some way, somehow. We just need to learn.
It's more like algorithm-ish, where it's more steps. These are like goals like that are shorter goals. It's like, all right, if I do this, then this move will be available for me. So if you want to put it in like a real life scale, it's like, all right, if I work this long, I should be able to save this much to buy myself a new in-ear monitor. Oh, sorry, that real life just came up. Sorry, my bad. But
example.
same difference, right?
Yeah.
Like so when you set your goals, or at least when you set ways of how you're gonna play a game, it definitely helps when you do put it in perspective of real life. And I know a lot of parents probably don't agree with games being portrayed in life. A lot of parents think that a kid playing Call of Duty or Halo and like induces like this I gotta go shoot people in real life thing. I was like, that's not the case.
It's not.
The reason
if that
why
was the case, I would have shot many people by now.
Yeah, same here. I mean,
millions would have been millions.
I've been playing shooters since since Halo 1, if not earlier than that.
Halo 1.
Yeah. So 2000.
You never played 007?
No, I didn't have a
Red Faction?
PlayStation.
That was N64.
I didn't. Was it?
007, but yeah.
Yeah, GoldenEye?
I didn't have it though.
Oh,
I had a friend who
played
had
it.
it though.
I had a friend who had it. I
Oh.
never had it. Yeah.
I played it a few times. Oh, you're right. It was on N64. You're right.
Yeah.
What about the computer game Duke?
I couldn't play Duke.
I played.
Duke
Duke.
freaked me out,
Oh, I
man.
played Chex Mex, or no, was it Chex Mex? Chex
Sounds
Mex.
like a
It's
cereal.
based off the cereal. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was a dude that had like blue arms and blue legs, and you shoot him. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if you are in a competitive mood, and if you want to, play laser tag, obviously you can you can win some games because you got that experience off of Halo or Call of Duty. So.
Yo, when I play laser tag, man, I'm serious.
Yep, same.
If you got me and my brother in the room, I'm like we're playing like Marines. It's like go, like go around corners and stuff. It's like break left, break right. We just switch sides. It's like, bro, we silly. We think we're in some serious situation here.
It was fun.
But I do enjoy playing laser tag.
So it's another great way to reduce stress.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's the adult version of unplugging.
Yep.
Unless you're me and you play Halo and it just stresses you out even more. I get so raged when I play Halo sometimes. I'm like, I hate this damn game.
And it creates laughter or happiness.
No, it really does.
It
does.
It does.
So it actually, playing board games, it releases a chemical called endorphins. and which is the body's natural feel-good chemicals, or like the happy hormones. And the last one I have here is it enhances creativity and self-confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Like even I mean, I played board games a lot back in the day, but what really helped me is games similar to charades. In charades, there's a game. I think it's like a movie. It's a board game where you'll have like 4 things to act out, and before it drops into the movie film.
Oh, I know
clip
what game you're
thing.
talking about.
Yeah.
I think we played that.
The movie. Yeah, we had at Jay's house.
Yeah.
We played with his kids. Yeah, and games like that actually opens up the brain for younger kids a lot earlier. So I used to play a lot of theater games, which is basically charades in a nutshell. And when they see something, they don't know what it is, and I'm like, oh, this is this, and they're like, oh, really? And then so their ideas of it. So you guys have watched kids say the darndest things, right? Like back in the day.
Yeah.
So when they think of it, that's what they're thinking of too, and so that's where you're just like, oh wow, these kids are crazy thinking of it like that. You know what I mean? And that's where the kids develop the most. Is when they do games like charades or games where they have to come up with something that doesn't have an answer. And I that's one of the best games I could ever ask for. If should I ever have kids, I want them to play games like that, because a parent once told me that ever since I taught them games like that, their grades got better. And I was like, how their grades get better? And then I thought about it. I was like, my grades got better when I started getting into theater, because I wasn't thinking one dimensional anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You're using the other hemisphere of your brain.
The other hemispheres. I have left, right, up, down. Diagonal. I'm chaotic good.
down, right, B button.
No. But yeah, like these board games definitely help in everyday life, and a lot of people just don't want to give it a chance. But you should. If you're listening to it, please just, give it a chance. It doesn't have to be an intense game like Mage Knight, which takes 10 to 12 hours. It doesn't have to be Dungeons and Dragons, which takes years. You know what I mean? Those games takes years only because it's just a game. It's really another excuse to just kind of hang out with your best friends. You know what I mean? And so,
5-minute dungeon.
5-minute dungeon would probably suffice. It's like the super fast version of D&D,
Basically.
with very limited resources. But you know what I mean? Like it definitely helps.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Want to let everybody know to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't forget to listen to us on Anchor FM, as well as the other podcast channels that you may listen to, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Overcast, and don't forget to watch us on YouTube for earlier episodes. I'll see you guys next time.
Only he will, though. Later.
Peace.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Later.